You would accept the argument that you can self-identify to be anything at any time. I could be a bobcat, I could be a fox, I could be a snake.
Literally not even the case.
It just seems like everything is emotionally driven.
What's up, you guys? Welcome back. I am Van. We are all the LFR family. I'm here with a few of my cousins from another mothers. And their name is Chris and April. Y'all already met them both in a couple of our videos before, but they are absolutely phenomenal. I thank you guys for being with me in this reaction. This is when y'all say something nice about me.
Thanks for having us.
When do I get paid?
You can't. It's like we discussed, it's $13 per video. $13 per video. Do more videos, $13 start to stack up real quick.
I don't think I signed my contract yet, man.
You have not. We need to go ahead back. We need to hurry up and sign it before you get too popular. She's going to be demanding $53.
I'm on my NIL right now.
Exactly. All right, so we got some Charlie Kirk action that I believe is going to be absolutely hilarious. I'm not going to do a whole bunch of talking, but guys, if y'all haven't heard already, I'm helping people grow their YouTube channels. Please reach out to me with the word coach if you are considering that. If you want to move forward with that. All right, so let's go and get into it. Y'all let me know whatever y'all want me to know in the comments. Let's go.
Okay, how many genders are there?
Many. It's actually like quantifiable.
Well, how about a number? So quantifiable, good.
No, it's so many because
give me a number, any number.
Okay, well the way the data breaks down, this is why you don't understand it.
Number.
You don't actually care about learning. You want one number.
She's not going to give him a number. I don't know why she can't give him a number. The way the genders break down is it's very difficult to figure out.
There's so many. The way that the
so many is not a number.
Chromosomes actually break down with intersex genders and the way that it actually happens. That is the starting point that you learn in like 5th grade. But when you actually do real experiments, you learn that the way that data breaks down when it comes to
can you give me a number
genders,
or not? Number?
A number? You have 2. That's 6th grade science. When you move on, there are hundreds of different categories.
So what you learn in 6th grade becomes less true as you get older? Like gravity becomes less true?
That is a basic building
Newton's
block
third
that
law
children
becomes less true?
in order to understand the concept of gender. When you break it down into actual
Gender and
experiments when it
sex
comes
are
to
directly
chromosomes and sex, it breaks down into hundreds of different categories that actually differentiate between just 2 genders. What you're saying is there are facts and you don't believe in there being opinions.
Yes, I am saying that there are facts.
This is a scientific fact that if you talk to any biologist, you will learn.
Are y'all following her so far?
I mean, I started toning her out. They all do that. They think they have a little nugget of wisdom. They throw it out and it falls really short. So they pick a different one. They throw another one out and it still isn't received. And they just keep going and they won't stop talking until they either freak out or walk away. I mean, she's going to freak out. I think she's going to freak out at some point.
She was overly explaining herself and it wasn't making any sense to me. I have that 6th grade knowledge of gender, so.
Yeah, she had to throw an insult first, right? To increase your credibility.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, she sounds crazy as hell to me.
So in biology, they teach you that there's XX and XY chromosomes. So give me a number of how many genders there are.
Hundreds, many.
Unlimited, right?
It breaks down into
it's
so
anything
many
you
more
want
categories.
to be, anything you feel.
No, it's what scientists determine given specific categories.
X, Y.
Why do you need a number if you're
Bingo. Why do you need a number? That's a great question.
You literally have no idea how it works.
Because then you could self-identify to be anything you want at any time.
Literally, biologists are saying that this is the way the gender actually breaks down.
So you would accept the argument that you can self-identify to be anything at any time?
Yes, because literally biologists have
That's
told me
what's
that
wrong
gender.
with not having a number.
There are hundreds of different numbers.
So
hundreds of different ways that gender and
So,
sex
like
break
I said
down.
earlier, I could be a bobcat, I could be a fox, I could be a snake.
Literally not even the case.
I could be anything.
No, you're literally saying that people not the actual
XX, XY.
Okay, I'm trying to be objective here because I really would like to understand where she's coming from. I do not, and I feel slow because I don't understand what she's trying to say. I mean, she keep on saying literally biologists say that there's far more than 2 when you look further into it. You're at a 6th grade level, you will still be stuck on 2 genders, but the more learned you are, the more educated you are, then I guess you start to realize that that there's infinity amount of genders. I really would like to understand this just for the sake of understanding, because I don't want to hear a young kid. I believe that a part of the reason why I even have a voice at all is to try to understand these imbeciles to the point where I don't disrespect them and at least show that I want to hear them. But if my kids, if I'm talking about, because she sounds like she's same age as my children, and she's at a university, more than likely she's younger than at least two of my children. But I like to understand where they're coming from, if that makes any sense. I'm sure I said the same thing 50 million times. So has she, but I just want her to get to the point.
It just depends. From what I'm gathering, it has something to do with what people identify as. And so it seemed like Charlie was saying that you can identify as a bobcat, and she was saying, no, that's not it. And she was getting frustrated. I think they're saying it deals with feelings. Like you can wake up and feel like a man, or you can wake up and feel like you're this. And it just seems like everything is emotionally driven, and that's confusing to me.
See, what they don't understand, though, is that when they feel a certain gender, that's cool. Feel whatever gender you want to feel. But when you get to school and you want other people to play along based off of your feelings, then that no longer affects only you. That affects everyone else at this point. So now if I feel the opposite sex than I was the day before, I now want to use the restroom with these individuals, or I'm out of school and I'm grown now. I want to receive the same rights and privileges as the new gender that I now identify with. I now want to play sports with the new gender that I now identify with. So it's like it becomes a little bit more than that. So biologists and scientists, she need to leave them out. If I'm hearing you correctly, it just sounds weird to me. I don't know. I don't know.
It's just like she's saying, it's all feelings based, but that's not people's problems. Like you said, we don't care what you think you are. It's when you think we have to affirm it and agree with it is when it's a problem. I'm sorry, I don't care if you call yourself a guy. You don't have the same life experiences as most other guys. So no, I will not include you in that world. Just as I would not include myself in the world of a woman. I have no idea what they go through and what they've been raised to experience and deal with. It can't be one. I can be a guy who wants to be, but that doesn't make it so.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I have to admit that I think that there's some portion somewhere that this started out as mental illness, and I think that is turned into a culture or a movement, and some people have been convinced, and I dare I say brainwashed, but I would say indoctrinated into this school of thought. And when everything was locked down, people only had their phones and social media, and they weren't interacting already with people, but it got so much worse then. And I just think that a lot of this just started out with a small sect, again, of mentally challenged people who were going through something, and now it's just taking movement and momentum. And so it's made its way to universities, and young people like this can't see real biology, because at the end of the day, you go to the hospital, you're a Jane Doe, you're a John Doe. If you don't have any identification, if you have female reproductive organs, it doesn't matter what clothes you have on or what, personality you're portraying or what type of hormones you taking to change your voice. If you're passed out on the side of the road and they bring you into the ER, you're Jane Doe. You know what I mean? And so it's science, it's biology, and it's nature, period.
Yeah.
Well, bottom line is when they dig up your bones one day, they're not going to look at your bones and go, here lies a gender fluid two-spirit Apache helicopter. They're going to say either a man or a woman.
Exactly.
Like that's what it is.
And it's sad, and when you say, and people will hear us talking about this and think that we're being
insensitive.
Yeah, or just having some type of malice, but it's just fact.
Yeah.
That's weird. That's just, I like it, but it's like you said, it's kind of like a mental illness. A majority of us grew up in a time where this was not a very normal behavior, and so now you have people telling us we have to just like be okay with kids having litter boxes in their bathrooms in high school and stuff.
That's not happening.
It's a weird. I'm sorry. It's a weird world we're living in.
I mean, they've already arrested a man before and locked him up with the women because he identified as a woman, and he got 2 people pregnant while locked up with them. Like, what the holy hell? Did they just miss the dingling? Did they just like?
No, he said he identified as a woman,
and they said
they just said okay. And I
Come
guess he
on.
got there and said he was a lesbian. Lord forgive me.
Hey, but that makes so much. I don't know how he can get that far though. Like, come on,
That's
at some point you was patted down. You were patted down.
They knew that. He was coming from the men's prison.
Come on, man. That's ridiculous. That's crazy. That's crazy. Did that even happen, or is that a rumor?
I've heard it more than once. I mean, from 2 different instances. We can look it up.
Well, I'll definitely look it up. Let's finish to see if this lady gets to some part of her conversation where she's making sense. And shout out to the girl that's just standing over there, over there on the side right there with the Trump girl shirt on.
2 genders, 2 sexes. They're directly
You're
related.
just repeating words over and over
because
again.
it's true, and you're not disproving it.
I am.
How?
Have an argument. Like seriously, there's nothing there.
No, I know, but it's more.
She keeps interrupting.
Making
It's
it
good. I
clear
like
that
it.
they
But
are
she doesn't
not
like my
welcome to
face,
be
so
here
that's
and
it.
say these things more than I think I'm going to convince him.
I hear you.
I think they're idiots. I think it's mainly to just have an air of like, if you're going to come in here, you're going to be uncomfortable and you're going to have to put up a good fight, which you're not doing. You're really quoting like super basic, shitty science that is just meant to teach.
But okay, but again, you don't have a number. I just want to recap.
Hundreds. There's hundreds of
So where would you
different
put?
ways that data breaks down.
Okay, so the data breaks down in 2 very simple predominant categories: XX and XY, and that's no. Oh, so there's not male and female.
I mean, to a certain degree, but there are different.
To a certain degree. Come on.
45 degrees angle, maybe. Like, I don't.
What the heck? To a certain degree.
98 degrees Fahrenheit, maybe.
To a certain degree, really. From my understanding, aren't women treated differently than men are treated when at the hospital?
To a certain
because
degree.
Women go through to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, yeah.
Oh my gracious, man! I promise you, these people.
Different ways that breaks down. When you actually get into sex and gender and X and Y chromosomes, it doesn't just break down in the way that there's many different ways.
And how would you categorize society then? And do you think men and women
Well,
are
I would go
categorically
by
different?
specific scientific criteria and then go off of what that study and that information actually says. You see, that information breaks down into much more difficult and complex things than you can just say in 5 seconds with 2 different genders. I think what happens is you don't understand science and scientific
I don't.
backing.
Oh, okay. So
and you just want to
so I
put
can
forth this fascist simple.
Oh, fascist simple. Here we go. That's
Okay, so what she's saying right now is that you all, the people who are in here with me right now, Chris and April, you all don't understand the science of it all. You just understand it from a fascist, simple point of view, is what she's saying.
Okay.
That's if you're on the side of Charlie Kirk, who says there's 2 genders. But
Her family must be.
Side.
Her family must be so tired, like all the time. People who talk like that continue doing the like, because they're thinking slower than they're speaking.
she got her own cameraman who thinks she's doing a fabulous job. So listen, she's fine. She's the star of the show at this point, and she destroys Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, that's her thumbnail.
Yeah, yeah.
And people are reacting to the video saying, "Oh yeah, she told Charlie Kirk."
Exactly.
The alternate universe.
The alternate, yeah. You know what? It's actually an alternate universe.
Yeah,
It really is, man. It's crazy. That's the thing that drives me crazy. Well, I think that's long. Okay. Yeah, I just want to understand. That's all, man. She's very small-minded, Red's mom.
That's interesting.
That will keep you.
So what is fascist about saying there's 2 genders?
Is you're just being completely not faithful to what actual science is telling you.
No,
because you
science
want
is
to
quite
put forward
simple. That
your
there's
own
a
oppressive narrative
Oh,
about how you
oppressive.
think
So
gender
now
should
I'm
be
oppressive.
believed.
How am I being oppressive? The truth comes out eventually.
She said he is being oppressive. This is an oppressive point of view. This is crazy. This is not, now she's a victim. You have an oppressive point of view. I'm sorry, Neil deGrasse Tyson, I want to hear what he says that there's more than, like he says it's complicated or something like that.
That's crazy town.
Yeah, I agree.
So, how am I being oppressive?
You're being oppressive.
How am I being oppressive?
You're being oppressive by denying people the ability to have.
How have I denied anyone anything? Okay, denying people identity. People can identify however they want. I'm only going to use 2 genders. That's the way that West.
Eventually, you're the problem, and you're going to get pushed out of the way.
Anyone who does not identify by like a female or male, you can identify them as an animal. You were saying that
no, I haven't said that.
You can identify yourself.
I think history has sort of proven where your type of people are.
No, I asked if I could be a bobcat, and somebody said yes earlier, and you said no.
You're a bobcat.
I'm a bobcat. I can be whatever I want to be. I could be a tree. I could be an 85-year-old person. Why not?
I want to be retired.
Have fun, bobcat.
Okay.
Oh my gracious. Now I was hoping that they would have like a good back and forth where, you know, someone at least tried to understand the other, but I can see why it didn't go that way because he just wanted an answer. You said it was 2 or how many is it? How many is it? Give me a number. And she's like, well, it's more complicated than that. It's science, and we got to go do some research on it. We're still studying. Science never ends. It's like, come on, bro. I don't get it, though, because she seems intelligent because she can communicate. She can communicate very intelligible and make her points, and she didn't seem like she was flustered. At some point, it sounded like she was probably getting a little agitated, but when you look at her face, she seemed a bit controlled. She knew that the camera was on her from the side, her cameraman. She knew she had other people there to support her way of thinking, but she stood on whatever her side that she stood on, but I still didn't understand it. So I guess that's the whole point, to stay confused. Like she said, the way that the world is going right now, you're on the wrong side and you're about to be pushed out. So I guess progressives believe that new ways of thinking will completely change the old ways of thinking, not considering that some things just don't change. Like you're either a female or you're male. It just is what it is.
I don't think they realize that it's at the end of the day, it's going to be survival of the fittest. I mean, bless their hearts if these people have to be drafted and go to war, or if bad things happen to this country where we lose our creature comforts and have to revert on our skills. And once that's done, you'll have like the majority of the people just melting down because they don't really know what to do. And so that's why I just can't take any solace in listening to a person who's trying to explain something to me that I know that's not factual. So, I mean, yeah, I commend her for speaking out, but just because somebody speaks intelligent, I wouldn't say they're being intelligent, but just because they're an effective communicator doesn't necessarily mean that they're intelligent.
That's true.
So
yeah, that's true. I just, I don't have a whole bunch of words, so.
And that's fine, like people, and that's the thing. You don't need to have a whole lot of words to be smart. So
that's true. I know some people who are very simple spoken people. They have a whole ton of wisdom and understanding of the world. So yeah, you're absolutely correct. I agree with that 100%. I was just hoping for something else. I don't know why. I mean, it didn't go anywhere. Like this conversation that we just listened to went nowhere.
You feel dumber, don't you?
Kinda. It's like what type of entertainment can someone get from that? It makes no sense to me. I'm looking in the comments right now. It's saying the scary part is that people like her can drive cars, vote, and have kids.
Yeah.
They already have. Those are the products of those people that had those kids, and it's just going to keep spreading like totally.
Oh my gracious. The scariest part is she actually believes what she's saying.
Yeah.
She does.
The fact that we are even having this kind of discussion is insane.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Exactly.
This whole thing is just absolutely the truth. You know what? When it comes to drafting people for the war, draft them Zers and Zers first.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, let them go.
Nah, let them go. Let them put them out there.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think they'll make it past like the basic part. Like they'll be pushing papers and doing calisthenics for probably 7 months. I don't know if they're ever qualified to go across, overseas or anything, but at least they'll get some military training. Bless
Listen,
their hearts.
they don't even need it because according to the way they think, only thing you got to do is put an AR-15 in their hands. According to them, the AR-15 would do all of the work.
Oh yeah, that's true. It's just kind of like a dog. You just let it go and it just kills everybody.
Just start killing everybody.
Yeah, you don't have to have any type of sharpshooter training or
None of
any
that.
type of range time.
None of that. Just tell them all of you Zerzers and them theirs. All of y'all get AR-15s. And they're gonna start yelling and yay and clapping and everything because they know that the battle is won.
Here's another perspective. What if she doesn't know what gender actually is? Because just like they don't know what AR-15s are, they tried to ban those too. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like as a kid in high school, my biblical knowledge came from my friends. How wrong was it? 100%. So it's what you learn, from your friends. I'm like, I know a lot about gender. My friend's like a bifluid zebra kin or something.
Zebrakin.
Yeah, they don't actually study. Kids don't even know what books are anymore. It seems like. That's the way to decide.